Okay. Okay, let me put the slideshow on. Okay. Hello, class. I really hope this is recording. I'm not sure. I just went to slideshow mode, so I don't even know. But anyways, so I'm doing a thing about Euclid and the Platonic solids by me, and my dog is in the room with us, so it's gonna be me and him. Okay. So you may wonder, who was Euclid? Like who is this guy? So he lived a long time ago, from 325 BC to 265 BC, right? He was a mathematician. He was one of the fathers of geometry, as I stated on this slide. So the thing with him is that there's not much known about him. The thing is that like he was very private. So like some stuff is documented, but like not everything. But he lived through the Hellenistic age, which is like during the time period it was alive, and they were kind of like in a renaissance for like math and science. So like as I stated right there, it was also known as like golden age of math and like science. I looked this up on a basic Google search. I just put what year was he alive, and what era, and it just said right there, be like, oh, golden age of math and stuff. So his work, so he did a lot of work. He had like a bunch of books written, but like the main one is this one, the one that I'm talking about. So it'd be the Platonic solids. So if you guys see the picture, oh wait, so yeah, that's him right there. So, but yeah, so if you guys see at the top right, the five shapes, those are the five shapes that he's talking about in one of his books. So basically, he says that like in nature, there's like only five possible shapes that could be made with completely even sides. So if you guys see the cube, it's like a bunch of just squares, and then the others are like pentagons, triangles, and then yeah, and he says that's like the most you're able to make without having to distort a single side. And there is a book that MJC has in the library by William L. Hosh, and he mentions, because Euclid also says this, but I kind of forgot, and then I remembered because I have there's like the book, and Euclid kind of ties all of the shapes together and like connects them to like the elements we have on the world, like on the earth. And this slide is the quote. So it goes, fire, air, water, and earth, that he's supposed to be formed through all matter, through all their combinations. Plato assigned the tetrahedron with its sharp points and edges to the elements fire, the cube, and its four square regularity to earth. And the other solids coincided, yeah, I think, from triangles, the octahedron, and the isohedron, to air and water respectively. The one remaining regular polyhydra, the dihydra, that long word, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it low key. But anyways, so what did he do? What was his life like? So, as I mentioned in my first slide, there's like, he was pretty, he was a relatively private guy, there's not much about him. Obviously, there's some stuff that's like written down from him, but they didn't even know where he was born. And it's just rumored that he was born in Athens, Greece during like the 325 BC to 265 BC. He was pretty cool homies with Plato. They worked with each other, and then Euclid also helped launch a school. It was actually a pretty well-known school, like pretty like prolific during his time period, and he had like students he'd teach, and he'd even teach some royalty. So like, if you guys see the last little part of my slide, it says he taught King Ptolemy, and there's a quote where the king was like, "Hey, bro, is there like any way for me to like just like cheat this kinda?" And then he hit him with there's no royal road to geometry. So how do we use this in our class? So if you guys remember, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, we had this one thing, a homework, where we had to test out the probability of dice. And there's another one, I think it was like flipping a coin or something, or a coin toss or whatever. But as for like the flipping dice one, or the rolling dice, that's how we could like connect it to our class. Like if you guys see on this slide, the middle one on the top row, it's a cube. So just shoot some dice, write down the numbers. For example, like the homework we had, that could be one way where we could tie it in with our class. And yeah, and I remember like doing the homework, and it would on average land most of the time on a 7. It'd always be like 7 would be the most. I like refreshed it like 3-4 times, and I kept re-rolling. All the numbers would obviously change depending on like the rolls and stuff, but most of the time it'd be 7. And it sucks because when I go to the casino and play craps, it always lands on 7 when I'm like on a streak. So that also annoys me. And as for sources, there's not much I use for my slides, mainly other than just basic Google searches. And also this one, the book. So if I go back, it's this one. So it'd be the one where it's William Al-Hash, like the last little sentence, and this entire quote from here is what I use for my sources. So yeah, so that is who Euclid is. Oh, Euclid. So yeah, that's my thing. So now we gotta end my thing. Hold up. Okay, goodbye guys.